A killer's final words before execution, a message to the family of a 3-year-old he brutally killed. Quote, "Sheila Marie did not deserve what I did to her. I know she is with the Lord and she suffers no more. I'm sorry to each and every one of you that lived with this pain all those years." End quote. At 10:43 this morning, Ronald Phillips died by lethal injection. Our Monica Robbins was there today as a media witness of the execution.
And tonight she joins us with some new insight on the state's first execution in more than 3 years. Monica.
A lot of controversy and pressure surrounding this execution, the first since 2014, when Dennis McGuire took 26 minutes to die. Now, the controversy is surrounding the first drug given, the anesthetic midazolam, meant to put the inmate to sleep. Legal filings fail to have it banned, even though experts say it's unsuitable and may not cause complete unconsciousness. The execution eyewitness seemed to go exactly as planned. Ronald Phillips managed to avoid his date with death 8 times prior to July 26. He was pronounced dead of lethal injection at 10:43 a.m. His death sentence carried out for the beating, rape, and murder of Sheila Marie Evans. The little girl's half-sister and aunt who witnessed the execution say they finally have closure.
After 24 and a half years, she can rest in peace, Sheila Marie. Rest in peace.
I was one of 5 media witnesses assigned to monitor the process that came under fire 3.5 years ago, after it took Dennis McGuire 26 minutes to die. This was the 21st execution reporter Alan Johnson witnessed.
This is so much different than Dennis McGuire. Very calm. The inmate was very emotional, but there was no signs that I could see of gasping, choking, struggling. Before his death, in a shaky, emotional voice, Phillips asked the family for forgiveness and apologized for the pain he'd caused. What I witnessed was Ronald Phillips appear to fall asleep and then stop breathing.
This is the first time in 24 years that I've seen any remorse in this man. It was too easy. She suffered.
God forgave him, but I'm sorry, I don't think I can.
All I can say to that is we have a very forgiving God.
Thousands of petitions were sent to the governor requesting he stop the execution. About 16 anti-death penalty protesters showed up at the prison to voice their concern.
We are here to show our opposition that no matter when this happens, we are against it.
Now, Phillips' attorneys painted a very different picture of the man, saying he became a minister in prison and was repentant of his crime. His federal public defender still questioned the use of midazolam, saying it's not appropriate for executions. And the second drug, a paralytic, may have masked the signs that the drug wasn't working. This was the first time Ohio used a 3-drug protocol. This case now opens the door for Ohio to carry out 3 other executions planned for this year, Russ.
Again, you're one of 5 witnesses today. I'm wondering, what went through your mind when you walked in there and when you saw what you saw?
Honestly, I was trying to do the best I could with my job. My job was to make sure that we were holding the state accountable, that this process went as planned and correctly. And I honestly was paying more attention to observing everything I possibly could. And I'm sure it will affect me sooner or later, but I haven't really had time to process that I just watched a man die today.
Yeah, I understand. And my question for you is, how do you feel right now? You can't answer that, but you heard his cry of remorse. Did you buy that?
Honestly, I didn't know the man. I didn't cover the trial, but from my perspective, he was on his deathbed. He had nothing to lose. I do believe that he didn't have to say anything if he didn't mean it, but he did try to offer apology to the family. Obviously, they weren't willing to accept that. The half-sister Renee did say she had mixed emotions about his apology, but and then obviously he thanked his family as well for their support over the years. But this was an individual that, this was a heinous crime. This was a horrific crime, and this man admitted to it. So in this particular case, when there's no question and we know what the crime was and what the sentence was, justice was carried out
One
today.
more thing very quickly, social media, everybody has an opinion on something. You wanted to say something about that.
Yeah, there were a lot of comments, questioning what I thought about the death penalty, and one of the comments was that I referred to it as the death house and I called it sanctioned homicide. Well, prison officials call it the death house. And sanctioned homicide on the death certificate, it says homicide on the reason for death.
Right.
So those were just legitimate terms I was using. And a lot of people asked, you know, why would you want to see this? And, you know, I said to a lot of people that I did not ask for this. I did not want to do this, but the media is required to witness these executions, to hold the state accountable. And this is part of my job and duty as a journalist.
Doing your job. And you can see more of Monica's thoughts on WKYC.com. Also a complete rundown, very comprehensive rundown of this case. Monica, thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.